From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
This is a WUFT News update. I'm Pamela Combe. President Donald Trump is preparing to hit the campaign trail again in coming days, perhaps starting in Florida and Pennsylvania. But as NBC's Susan McGinnis reports, there are still many questions about his health status.
A day after President Trump raised questions and concerns by announcing he'd campaign this weekend in Florida and Pennsylvania, the White House today saying it's unlikely he'll travel before Monday and avoiding questions of whether he's still ill or contagious.
Now I'm free. I feel perfect. I'm not taking anything.
The president telling conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh he fought off COVID-19 with the help of an antibody cocktail, Regeneron, getting far ahead of science in praising the experimental treatment.
More than just a therapeutic, we have a cure. But the vaccines are very important, Drush. But this is more important because we can go into hospitals and clean out the hospitals.
The president's upbeat comments reminiscent of his early cheerleading for hydroxychloroquine, which failed to live up to the hype. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today not only questioning the president's health, but his current fitness to serve.
There are those medical professionals who say that certain medications can impair judgment. I don't know.
Meanwhile, Democrat Joe Biden on the campaign trail in Las Vegas, trying to shore up support with Latino voters. Back in Washington, mixed messages today on whether a new COVID relief bill is back on track.
I would like to see a bigger stimulus package, frankly, than either the Democrats or the Republicans are offering. I'm going in the exact opposite now.
Days after he unilaterally halted negotiations, the White House is now working with Democrats on a $1.8 trillion relief package. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell later downplaying hopes anything will be passed before the election. Susan McGinnis, NBC News, Washington.
Vice President Mike Pence will also rally in Florida tomorrow. Pence will attend a Latinos for Trump event in Orlando before heading to the Villages. That rally will start around 3:30. You have to register in advance for tickets. Pence also campaigned in the Villages in 2016. A federal judge rejects the idea of reopening Florida's online voter registration system. The decision comes after the state's online system crashed Monday night. That prompted an extension of in-person and online registration until 7 p.m. Tuesday. Voting rights groups wanted more, but the judge decided supervisors are too far into their detailed routines now to risk more confusion. He also had harsh words for election officials for anticipating and preventing the online overload. An appeals court ruling today backs the state's approach to reopening K-12 public schools in August. The decision overturns the reasoning and belief offered by a circuit judge who heard a teacher union's lawsuit. The ruling states the emergency orders follows full state funding while letting districts decide whether students or teachers get online opinions. Now, in higher education, the state's next big push is for universities to get back to more typical face-to-face instruction in spring. That idea is also drawing pushback from instructors. WUFT's Jolina Esperto joins us from the newsroom with the story.
UF faculty and students have started a petition to oppose any big increase in face-to-face classes for the spring semester. The petition points out that the public health emergency has not ended.
More than 2,600 people at UF have signed a petition to continue remote learning in the spring. I'm at the UF campus where only a few classes are being held in person. Most students have the majority of their classes online. In the petition, the UF community argues that moving face-to-face next semester will only put others in danger, and the majority of the students will continue learning remotely anyway. UF adjunct professor Eleanor Laughlin says it's better to continue mostly remote learning, but she would teach in person if she has to.
I feel like it's a little bit early to return in the spring. I can understand the university's position in terms of wanting to bring students back to campus and give them the experience that they signed up for.
UF Assistant Vice President of Communications Steve Orlando says UF will be better prepared to handle the pandemic next semester.
We have seen no transmission in a classroom or laboratory setting on campus. The transmissions are occurring in some of the on-campus housing, but almost primarily off of campus.
Laughlin believes a hybrid approach would be beneficial for her coworkers.
Maybe a staggered approach would be more beneficial to our faculty and students, of maybe having some time on campus and then still Zooming.
Orlando says there will be several precautions put in place.
We are providing 50,000 N95 masks for faculty. We are expanding the social distancing in the classrooms that will be used from 6 feet to 8 feet between students and to 11 feet between instructors and students.
Laughlin says she's proud the UF community is speaking out and petitioning about their safety concerns.
Late this afternoon, UF President Kent Fox sent faculty a short video message saying increased face-to-face instruction is what students deserve. Here's a portion of what he had to say.
The next step we must take is to significantly increase the opportunity for students to experience in-person, face-to-face learning. Our students deserve this opportunity. More importantly, we have learned over the past several months how to keep our faculty, staff, and students as safe as possible with in-person teaching and learning.
Fox went on to say the change should help make the case to preserve funding as the state faces revenue shortfalls. He said it will be challenging but could save jobs. Reporting from the newsroom, Jolena Esperto, WUFT News.
Thanks, Jolena. As for weather, there's a hurricane heading up the Gulf of Mexico to Louisiana. Zoe Robinson joins us from the Weather Center and tells us what we should expect in Florida.
Yeah, so as that hurricane is off Louisiana coast, what we can expect here is an increase in rain chances. As you can probably see on my camera right now, there's a few water droplets, and that's actually from a shower that just quickly moved through the area a little bit ago, though. But it's actually making up for a nice evening with some pretty blue skies starting to creep their way through. Right now outside, 84 degrees with a feels-like temperature of 92. Those temperatures did drop off a bit after that storm, so once again, it's going to be a really nice evening. As we look at our satellite, we can see where it would be is Hurricane Delta off the coast of Louisiana. And with that, there would be, as you can see, my monitor's acting a little weird right now, but there's a lot of shower activity across the state. As we look at our radar, though, there we go. There is a lot of shower activity from those south wind flows coming up to the state near Gainesville and in Ocala. As we track this out for you, there is a small cell near Ocala in the Villages, and that will continue to move upwards towards Gainesville around 8 o'clock around the county line, but will die off as we head into the evening hours. As we forecast your overnights for tonight, though, still some lingering showers possible, but will die off, leaving just cloudy skies and pretty comfortable temperatures for our overnight. As we look at our lows for tonight, 72 in Gainesville, 71 in Micanopy, and 72 in Hawthorne. Down in Marion County, 72 in Ocala, Bellevue, and the Villages, and pretty much all across the county as well. As we head into this weekend, though, what we can expect as Delta moves inland, we're going to see some southerly wind flow, and that's going to make it still pretty warm and humid with temperatures in the afternoon in the upper 80s, as well as scattered storms still possible each afternoon this weekend, unfortunately. As we look at our future moisture, even though Hurricane Delta is all the way near in Louisiana, there's causing a lot of moisture across the southeast. However, as that continues to move out of the way, dry air will actually move its way in, and a cold front will actually be coming Wednesday morning. As we look at our week ahead, though, unfortunately, those showers will be sticking around this weekend, but as that dry air moves in on Monday, we will have a significant decrease in our shower activity through the rest of the week. And now over to Lindsay Studstill with sports.
The number 4 Florida Gators will look to continue their hot start and start the 2020 season 3-0 tomorrow. Welcome to sports. I'm Lindsay Studstill. The Gators will face their biggest challenge of the season tomorrow as they head on the road to number 21 Texas A&M. Last weekend, the Gator offense had another electric outing led by the Kyle duo and senior quarterback Kyle Trask and junior tight end Kyle Pitts. The pair connected for 2 touchdowns during Florida's 38-24 victory over South Carolina, earning not only Trask a spot on the Heisman watch list, but Pitts as well. Pitts' case is an extremely rare one. In fact, you'd have to go back to 1977 to find the last tight end Heisman finalist. However, head coach Dan Mullen knows the Gators will have their work cut out for them this weekend, facing off against another pass-heavy offense in the Aggies.
They're very, very talented players. Got a veteran quarterback. They got a bunch of really good skill players offensively that can make plays in the pass game and in the run game. Defensively, hands down the best defensive front we've seen.
Kickoff for tomorrow is set for noon in College Station. And the only other SEC matchup of the weekend with 2 ranked teams, the up-and-coming number 2014 Tennessee Volunteers head on the road to face a powerhouse in the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs. With 8 consecutive wins going back to last year, third-year coach Jeremy Pruitt is definitely starting to turn the Volunteers around. However, the tough part of Tennessee's schedule is still ahead, starting with Georgia. This will be the 50th meeting of the two programs, and Georgia holds the series 24-23-2, including winning the last 3. Kickoff for this week's SEC on CBS matchup is set for 3:30. It'll be ace against ace tonight after the New York Yankees forced a Game 5 against the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League Division Series. The Rays had the opportunity to secure a spot in the American League Championship Series last night, but the Yankees came out hot after 2 straight losses and tied the series up at 2 with a 5-1 win. And for Game 5, neither team is taking any chances. Both teams will put their ace on the mound with Tyler Glasnow for the Rays and Garrett Cole for the Yankees. This will be the second consecutive season Cole and Glasnow are facing each other for the right to advance to the ALCS. The only difference is last year Cole was with the Astros when he fired 8 strong innings to beat Glasnow and Tampa Bay 6-1. First pitch for the winner-take-all Game 5 is set for 7:10. It's win or go home tonight for the Miami Heat as they face the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Lakers currently lead the series 3-1 and can seal the deal tonight with a win. Should they win, this will be their first title since 2010 and 17th overall, which would tie them with the Boston Celtics for most in the NBA. However, Game 4 was definitely a close one, and the Heat are sure to make adjustments. This is the 36th time that a team has held a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals, and of the last 35, the team with the lead has gone on to win the title 34 times. Tip-off for tonight is set for 9.
Thanks, Lindsay. Snake hunters make history in Florida after catching an 18-foot Burmese python. The massive catch set a new record in the state. It weighed at 105 pounds. Pythons are an invasive species, so FWC has programs to pay snake hunters to catch them. That's our time for now, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org.